What's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. My days just get kind of mixed up today or lately. Everything's just rolling together. I hope you guys are doing okay. And yeah, hope everything's fine. Let me know how you guys are doing. We should probably ask where everybody's from too. You know, if you want to share where you're watching from, let us know. Obviously, don't give any personal address information, but you know, maybe we could start seeing where everybody is and where that is. So, what's up, Killer Cutthroat? What's up, Patal? Even though you I like how you say you get straight to the point though. Okay. So anyways, topic today. If you watched my video earlier today, had Christopher Hitchens with versus Dinesh. I can't say his last name. I probably said it horrible in the video. But what got me thinking there is Christopher Hitchens brought up a very good point. The reason science works so well is because you can falsify it. You can prove it wrong. And that's what makes it so honest. And anyone that is willing to put themselves out there to be proved wrong, we should trust those people more than the people that say there is nothing that can prove them wrong. And that is a truth to me. I am more likely to trust somebody that could admit they or show me they can, or not show me they can admit that there's things that could prove their ideas wrong. And that's what helps science, right? That's why the only thing that has disproven science is more science, right? If science worked like the Bible, we would be stuck back in the dark ages. Science might be or is literally the best thing that we have ever done. I think it's natural, by the way. I think just living is going to force you into scientific stuff because in order to survive, you have to use science. So I think it's just ingrained into all animals. We just happen to be able to think about it in a different way. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about today. We're going to see if I can get some theists up here to share with me what would prove God wrong, right? There should be a list that you have, and there should be something. If you tell me you don't have anything that would prove your God wrong, I almost don't believe you, to be fair. And I guess I would talk to that person too, but I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. If there's nothing that can prove your idea wrong, that doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. So let's see if we got anybody bold enough to step up to the plate and talk to us. And we'll go from there. Let me take my notes down at the moment since we don't have anything. Excuse me. Don't forget to click those buttons, guys. Keep the channel growing. Like I said yesterday, we hit 2K. We're flying past 2K now, so we'll be at 3,000 soon, and this channel will keep growing. And I thank you guys for that. Just being able to share my thoughts and the thoughts that I think other people have as well. But since I'm kind of in the middle of things, I feel like there's not really a big space for somebody like me. So create my own damn space. That's what I'll go. Now, I'll still force myself to be honest as well. And if I can't prove something, I will admit it. And I just expect the same from you. And then we can be on the same team. That's all I care about. Because if we're building a society, we have to find ways to create a better society, which means, from what we know, the best way to make a good society is to use factual things that I can prove to the next person. And then we can come up with a closer to the truth conclusion, right? You don't want to be talking about things that don't exist when we're talking about safety or something, right? Like when we're building a car or building a building, you don't want somebody that is pretending. I guarantee you, even Patal, you don't want the guy that's just like, hey, I have faith that this building's going to stand up. I promise you. You don't want the doctor that's just, I have faith that I'm going to be able to do brain surgery on you. You want somebody that has really studied the science, somebody that has really gotten into it, and somebody that has gone through the scientific method to prove that they could actually finish the job and do the job correctly. It's funny to me how people pretend that almost your whole life is based off of science, right? Everything that you have, this computer that you have, this like you talking on your phone, all the things we take for granted came from where? Science, right? So, with that, I would like to see if anyone is willing to step up and be honest about what would prove God wrong to them. And then maybe we can discuss if any of that evidence actually exists. So, yeah, that's the challenge today. Hello, hello, hello. I do not. I don't even know if I have a TikTok. I probably have a TikTok. I don't have, I don't know. I don't use it. Maybe I should. So, yeah, as we wait, let me know what you guys, how your day was. Um, Said I just got off of work. I still have to work. That's true. And I look forward to coming home and like making videos and doing these kind of conversations. Monday, Tuesday, Friday is the schedule for now. That way I still have a couple days to make videos because I do enjoy making the videos. If you haven't seen the video today, make sure to go and take a look. It's a pretty good one, I think. The last two videos I did, I liked a lot. Sometimes you just don't like the stuff you make, by the way. It happens. Let me move this up a little bit. Call in right over the chat. Yeah, good. All right. Who would like to step up and have a conversation? Tuesdays, I've kind of been a little bit slower, but it's okay. If we end up sitting here I said this yesterday, by the way, and then the stream or people started calling. I think we got to talk to like 3 people yesterday, which obviously is going to be a lot for me. I ended up doing what we did like 4.5 hours yesterday. And I said this same statement. I was like, well, if nobody shows up, then we'll just have a 30, 40-minute stream. And yeah, you guys proved me wrong on that. Can't prove a negative. Well, I still think, man, there should be a list of things like, okay, Jay, I would stop believing in God if this was proven, or I would stop believing in my God if this was proven, right? I could think of some things, man. I know you guys can think of some things. I'm pretty sure. Man, I got a vacation coming up. I can't wait for it. Golly. But what's funny about vacations is you always need a vacation. It's a sad fact. Always need a vacation from your vacation. How about we do a thumbs up if you watched the video today? Put y'all on the spot. It's a longer video, to be fair. Sometimes those longer videos take a long time to watch, or sometimes people avoid them because it's so long. So I get it. For some reason, that the Christopher Hitchens video that I did like a week ago is still just booming. I don't know what the hell I did different on that one. I feel like I didn't do much different, but people like that one. It was like that. That one's at like 25K views. That's a lot for me, obviously. Like, that's kind of crazy. Okay, thanks for the honesty. Yeah, check it out whenever you can. Like I said, it's a longer video, so I kind of get it. When you see, and I'm almost the same, but I'm a weirdo. I'm actually more likely to click on a video that says 30 minutes or an hour than a video that says 5 minutes. But that's how insane I am. So I get that's not normal. So all good. I guess maybe we can talk about some of the things that led me to not believe in what I used to believe. And I think the first thing, and this is why you have to be careful about what you teach people, because as a child, I was taught about the infallible word and how prayer works and how all these things work that are supernatural. And then as I grew up, testing those things because I'm a tester, right? I test everything, man. If you tell me you can read minds, I won't just push you to the side. I'll put you to the test. I'll be like, hey, what do you need to test this? Let's do it. If you say you can fly, I'm gonna be like, what can we do to show you so you can show me you can fly? If you say you've seen a ghost, I will not ridicule you. I will just ask you questions. I am all about finding out those things and if they're true, because at one point in time, man, I believed all of it. I really did. I believed all that crap. I used to be on this website called Above Top Secret. I think I said this before, but I'm aging myself. I used to be creating posts on there. I used to, oh my God, telling you, man, I believed all that crap. And no one, not once, no one has ever proven anything to me. It kind of makes me sad. Not gonna lie, like I'm a little disappointed that of all the people I've spoken to, talked to, that told me about experiences, no one has been able to. I don't even know if I want to say prove, but no one's been able to show me anything. And I've tried crap myself too, by the way. I mean, and honestly, I knew Jesus didn't have blonde and white hair and all that long. When I think I was like 7, when I was like, wait, hold up. Because you start going to school, right? You're learning about geography. You're learning about what people look like in other places, and then you go read the Bible. I started reading the Bible early as shit. So I was like, hold on, these people. What's Israel? Where's Israel? Where's you're like, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, he didn't look like that. I knew that a long time ago. But here's the thing about that. That also started tipping me off to how some of this stuff might not be true, right? Not all of it not true, but some of it might not be true, because when I started to learn about how it was spread, and we're gonna have another video I'm working on and another live stream I'll work on after that video, because Christianity was not spread in a nice way at all. It was a very ruthless spread. As soon as it caught on, they turned ruthless. And I was talking about this with a buddy of mine, and it seems to be, once anything takes power, man, it turns evil. And Christianity started off as this oppressed group. That's what they said, at least. And then they did the exact same things that said were being done to them. And then I started thinking about that. Well, hold up. If we read the Bible, that's exactly what happened too. God frees the Israelites. Israelites go ahead and do the same shit that they just condemned Pharaoh for. If that's not the most hypocritical thing, I don't know what to say. And I know some of you guys don't even believe the story, but it's a story in the Bible. Whether you think it happened for real or not, it is a story in the Bible meant to prove a point. And the point to me is that they're hypocrites. Your dad told you you can go to a world with all cartoons? Holy crap, I might like to talk to you. I still want to stick to the subject, but hey, I'm all about these kind of conversations, man. I will question the shit out of you, though. Out of Egypt, I call my son. I forgot. I think a lot of that stuff was just put in there in order to just fulfill the prophecies, right? Like you have this book that you grew up on, right? Let's just say honestly, right? If Jesus was existed for real, that Jesus would have known these stories. His parents would have known these stories. The apostles would have known this story. So why wouldn't they, if you think this person is the Messiah, start trying to fulfill these prophecies? And I know if you go listen to Justin, he'll say like he didn't fulfill shit. And I'm still researching a lot of that, but every time he brings up some stuff that Jesus didn't fulfill, it seems to check out, man. So, and I think for you, Buck, because like what would prove God false to me, if I were you, would be allowing the book to be corrupted that is supposed to be from God, right? And that's part of the things. That's part of the another example of what started leading me away from believing that the book is true. Because if that's false, then how can I trust any part of the book? Like, why? What would make me just pick and choose what the book is true and what not, and what's not true is just all subjective, and I'm just making it up. It's funny, like I mean, it's not funny. It's pretty obvious the agenda that Christians have because they only pick the good shit out of the book. Like they only pick the good shit. Nobody ever picks the bad shit. I mean, unless you're a racist, I guess some of the racists do. But like most people don't pick the bad shit. Why can't the bad shit be true? Yeah, I know, Buck. I know what you say. I know what you believe, man. Hey, thanks for the. I don't know what the jewels are, but thanks for the gift. Honestly, I have no clue what it is. Appreciate it. I'm still learning some of these things. Patal, how about we get you up here? Let me hear some honest stuff from you. How about that? Can you come up here and be honest with me? Step up to the plate. You've been one of my supporters, by the way. You argue with me, or you don't even argue with me, but I still consider you a supporter. I would like you to jump in here and let me know what's up. Like I said, I believe you, but let's get you in here and let's hear some of what you got to say. I want you to lay it out. Let's do that. How about that? Are you willing to step up to the plate and be honest here? You don't jump on panels as of yet. Okay, buddy. All good. All right, let's start a poll. That way, when people come in, you should have something, guys. There should be something, at least one thing that can prove your beliefs wrong. Well, Patal, to be fair, you just spam a bunch of messages. I could see people kicking you out, man. You gotta learn to like at least give other people the respect to respond to some of the stuff they're saying. Yesterday, I think you were responding a little bit. Like, I didn't go back and look, but yesterday I think you could have responded. You did respond to some things. But you got to realize, man, people, whether they disagree with you or not, right? If they're being honest, like they want a conversation with you. And if anybody's giving you the respect to ask you questions, why don't you give the respect back, right? And not just, quote scripture. Because obviously the person that's questioning you is asking why you believe the scriptures. Yeah, Nightbite can be rough. Nightbot can be rough. Hey, I let you spam. All I ask is that sometimes you answer some questions. That's all. Because let me ask you this: is your goal to save people or no? That's what I'm curious. Do you have a goal to save people, or are you just saying stuff? Like what are you doing, right? Just curious. Well, I would say your mind is made up because I asked you a question and you honestly said that there is nothing that could prove God wrong, right? Nothing could prove God wrong, which means you have your mind made up. So, how or why would you say it's bad for people to have their minds made up? I think that's very unfair, right? Can you be honest about that and tell me that you're being unfair there and kind of a hypocrite, right? I just want you to be honest about something, right? That's what I asked for here, right? Anybody I speak to, I just need you to be honest about something, please. You can ask me stuff. I'll be honest, man. Weeping Spirit. Hey, what's up? God, I'm so bad with names. Hold on. I'm gonna screw it up. God, I'm gonna write your name down because I did forget. Could apologize because I want to say. Hold on, let me guess. I want to say Deborah, but I'm probably wrong. Damn it! I'm so bad with names, guys. I really am. I've been bad with names since I can remember. I'm very good at faces, voices. I'm so bad with names. I'm also bad with birthdays. Like, I'm also bad with birthdays, man. Wait, hold on. Yep, which one? Did I get it right? Ah, yes. Awesome. That feels good. You made my day. Awesome. Well, if you are the only one that wants to step up, I know you got the cojones to step up. If you have, what I'm asking today is there something that could prove God wrong to you? Right? Are you willing to step up to the plate and say something that could prove you wrong. Not for me, man. I guess I'm a weirdo. I could change my belief because I have. And I am willing to change to whatever truth that there is. To me, truth or personal belief is not unshakable. I believe my wife loves me, but she could make me change my mind. Right? It's like I don't know, man. I don't have that kind of brain, I guess. I go off of what's the facts, and that's it. So it kind of worries me that we have people saying that they can't be convinced. I'm going to help you guys, though. I think a lot of this is a part of fear that was brought up in everybody, right? We were raised with this fear of this almighty, jealous being. And I don't think we have to be scared. I really don't. So let's be honest together. Let's admit what could prove our beliefs wrong, and let's build a better future. The better future starts with being honest, and the better future starts with being able to be convinced of things. Christopher Hitchens got it right. Like, that's why I made that video, man. That's so true. You have to be you have to be willing to put yourself out there and say, this is what would prove me wrong. Yeah, I know a lot of people hate the scared thing. Said, I ain't scared. All right, Buck. I like you, Buck, so you know. Joan of Arc? Hey, I'd like to hear that. Step up. Let me hear about Joan of Arc. What's interesting is because why don't you believe in Allah? Or why don't you believe in was it? I'm gonna destroy this Baba Gita or something. I can't say all this stuff. Like why what is this other there's some Louisiana stuff as well, right? Why don't you believe in any of that stuff? Babadook or something. Why don't you believe in Slender Man? Like, what if you are wrong about your pick? Why don't you believe in Zeus? Ares. Wait, Ares was is that a real person in the Greek story? There's so many gods, right? And we choose to not believe in those. Yet this other one that most likely you only believe in because you grew up in that culture, you call special. Right? Like, isn't that strange? That you're more likely to just believe what you were taught? Ooh, I thought I had somebody jumping in there. I was excited. Don't be scared, y'all. I believe in Jesus true. Mother Barbello. Sophia is the true creator. I don't know what the hell that is, bro. Or I'm not sure if you're a bro. I call everybody bro, so don't take offense. Hey, Buck, I like to hear that because most likely we are wrong. That's a scientific man to me because I get excited a little bit when like somebody's presenting evidence to me and it at least feels like they're about to prove me wrong on something because I'm excited to learn. So there's been many times where I'm like, oh shit, I'm wrong. Teach me more. And for some reason with religion, everybody's like afraid of being wrong. And it's because of the consequences of being wrong. It adds up, guys. You're scared of the consequences of being wrong. Psalms 115:48. All right, I'll pull it up, Patal, because I will listen to what you're saying. All right, let me see. Psalms 115:48. All right. If there was no consequences, I think we would all be honest, right? That's the thing that makes people lie, by the way, because there's a consequence. Like if there wasn't a consequence, you don't lie. Kind of funny how that works. All right, so here's a verse that Patal wanted us to see. Let's see. The mountains skip like rams and the little hills like lambs. What ail thee, O thy sea, that thy fleetest Jordan? Wait, what does that have to do with anything? Drill the earth, which turned the rock, in the water. All right, Patal, I don't think that has to do with our subject. I don't know. Did I get the wrong one? Oh, 15. Okay, hold on. My bad, my bad. 15. Right. Their idols are silver and gold. They work of man's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes that they do not see. Ears, but they do not hear. Noses, but they do not smell. That they have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. They make them alive. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Idols. Yeah. That's what I see. Like I said, somebody step up and admit for me. I want a believer to step into this Discord and admit what would prove God wrong. Come on, guys. Somebody have the fortitude or whatever to jump up here and say what would prove God wrong. And you know what? Even if an atheist can come up here and tell me what would prove God right, let's show the honesty, by the way. Even if you come up here for like a quick second, not second, you'll come up here for like 30 seconds just to say, I need to show that I already gave what I would do, right? Didn't I? I think some of my stuff can't be anymore. Like, to be fair, like the Bible is obviously not completely true. That would have been a big thing for me. If the Bible had stated some science that no one else knew, that would be a big thing for me. It wouldn't prove everything, but that would be huge. So like the Bible was like, if Jesus was just like, hey, here's this equation that you'll need 3,000 years from now, that would blow my freaking mind. And we don't even know it yet because it hasn't been 3,000 years. But if there's this equation that Jesus was like, hey, you guys will use this and it will save the world or some shit. 3,000 years. Why doesn't the Bible have anything like that? Why am I whispering? Yes, why doesn't the Bible have anything like that? I think the Quran tries to do some of that kind of stuff. I think we spoke about this last time. Yeah, why don't we believe in the Anunnaki? So yes, does any atheist want to step up and show how we can be honest? I'm not an atheist, but I don't know what I am. Can any can any atheist pop up and show the honesty? Tell us what would prove God true, Christian God in particular, I guess. I don't know. Somehow somebody told me I'm not agnostic either. I don't know. I don't have a home. I got an honest home though. I will be honest. All right. Well, if the atheists don't step up, that means people just can't call in, which is fair. Some people might be at work. You know, like I said, I make sure to get out early. Screw that shit. Trying to get home. I love my home. I love being home. Fatima, 1917, Portugal. I know somebody that has that name, by the way. Fatima, 1917, Portugal. Never heard of this, whatever it is. All right. This is a Catholic apparition story where three shepherd children, Lucia dos Santos, Francisco Marto, and Jacintia Marto, said that Virgin Mary appeared to them in Fatima, Portugal. Oh, I have heard about this. Yeah, I've heard about this one. I'm in an elevator that's kind of a box. You got to get out of that elevator. Get out of that elevator. Yeah, Buck, you're the only one that will call ever, right? I guess. I'll keep talking to you, man. We talk about something different each time, so I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. So yeah, if you want to call in, bro, let's step up. I'll put on my headset and mess up my hair for you. You know, I do not put on that headset unless I get a call. And maybe I'll look into this TikTok thing that y'all are talking about. Since you guys say people call from TikTok. I heard a lot of people are using Kick too, by the way. I don't know if you can. YouTube's going to demonetize me now for saying another platform. Man, you guys are getting all hyped up in the chat. You better call in. Let me see some of that hypeness. You said every knee and bow, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. That's also the subject is what would prove it wrong. You have to have something, guys. Come on. That does it really make sense to you to say that nothing could prove what you believe wrong? Are you guys being honest when you say that? I don't think that's honesty. I get it's going to be polarizing, but it doesn't mean you can't be honest. Like I'm literally saying right now, like, yeah, I could believe again for sure. I could. So it's just like, why can't somebody say that they couldn't? Are you scared? Is that like opening the door to the devil by saying you couldn't do it? I could for sure. I could believe all this shit again. Oh, you need the link, Buck? It's exclamation point. I mean, Jesus thought Judgment Day was coming in those people's lifetimes, so because we don't have proof that this was a creation. That's a pretty easy answer. No proof. Yeah, I'll look up that ghost particle. To me, the proof that it's not is the only things that we have ever found are natural. There hasn't been one thing that we found as the reason for something that was not natural. That's why most believers always have to go to what was before the Big Bang, because we have answers for so many other things. That's the only thing that they can jump to. And most of the time, the evidence is just God of the gaps. Right. So it's just like God of the gaps is the only thing that's left, really. But if we were born like 500-600 years ago, I probably wouldn't have. I would believe for sure. I think there just wasn't so much. There wasn't enough evidence to convince me otherwise. So most likely, I would just believe 500 years ago because nobody knew shit. And to me, now, right, just not knowing something does not prove anything. Yeah, that's weird that Jesus doesn't know the time in the hour, by the way. That means God can forget, which is weird. I don't know. Seems strange. Strange. I mean, as far as we know, the only evidence we have is that consciousness is emergent from physical things. Just because we don't have all of the answers does not mean the evidence we do have is incorrect. We just gotta be honest, guys. Just be honest, man. Oh, Buck, you couldn't get in? Hold up. Let me invite you. Why can I invite you? Or invite to server. Okay. Hmm. Usually you just come in, Buck. Is there something wrong? Oh, you're in an alternate room? I don't see you. Weird. Do I have you here? Did the link not just take you to my spot? Because it won't let me just drag and drop you. It's kind of annoying. Oh, hold on. I got it. I can do it. I got you. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. All right. Sending you an invite now, brother. There you go. I believe that invite should work. Did you get an invite, Buck? I'll invite you again. Send it twice. I mean, let me make sure the Buck's been in here before, though. I mean, I'll make sure the invite is good. Oh, I think I know what it is. Hold up. All right, so I think if I do this, go to Nightbot, because I have like a waiting room and then the stage. I think I set that I have to directly invite you to the stage, but the waiting room, anybody can click this link and get on there. So let me see. Okay. So I updated that. Discord. All right. So that link should get to the waiting room. Click that link, Buck. See, let me know what happens. Or I'll see what happens because it should get you there. There it is. All right. Let me pull you up. Let me unmute. What's up, brother?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Let me turn it down here. I got my headset too loud. What are you out and about on the mobile phone today? I saw it said it shows you on mobile. Oh, hold up. I heard you, Buck.
Oh,
Oh crap, I just disconnected myself. My bad. All right, one more time. All right, there we go. Can you hear me now?
bonjour.
All right, there we go. Good.
Hello.
How you doing, brother?
Hey, man. Good to see you, man. Good to hear you.
Yeah. Doing how's your day?
Oh, it's doing all right. My wife just came pulling up right now, actually.
Uh-oh. You got a
Took me a
short
minute to
period.
figure out the stupid technology.
Oh, good, man. I know a lot of people don't use Discord, so I know I'm like rare on that. But
All
you
good
must have
though,
a
but
short time if your wife's here.
oh no, well no, I just got home from work myself. She's coming home. She's probably gonna have some comment to say about me. You know, she's wonderful. She's a wonderful person.
I mean, I hope it's not a bad comment. I hope it's, hey,
Say,
honey, nice to see you.
Hi, honey. Nice to see you.
All right, I love it. See, that's a good one.
She's a very good woman because she married me and she's kept me for 30 years.
30. Nice.
30.
Nice, man. I've been with my wife
Indeed.
for 18. She gets on me. I get the date wrong all the time. that she gets over. So she's probably listening, and she'll type to me, and she won't type in chat, but she'll message me on the phone. But
It's funny. I'm better on the dates than she is.
okay. All right. I'm bad on those, man. Like I said, I forget birthdays, everything. I forget my birthday sometimes.
I forget all kinds of that sort of stuff too, but
but yeah, all right.
Crazy.
Can't
all right, so
are you able to admit that there is something that could change your mind? That's basically the question.
I suppose the yes, I believe that there's something that could change my mind. I think that happens to people. Yes, I do believe that minds do get changed. I do think it's
1 second.
earth-shattering.
Hold on. Sorry.
Happens.
Let me do this. All right, I can hear you now. Keep going. I can always hear you, but I had you in the wrong room. My bad.
It actually sounds better.
Awesome.
For
cool.
me.
Let's do that. That's good. Good.
All right. Excuse me. Anyway. All right. So the something can be that can change my mind for sure. I think what happens though is that a lot of people get totally shaken when their mind is changed. I do think it's they call it a worldview for a reason, because it's actually how you see and parse the world together in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when something comes along and takes one of those building blocks out and shakes the foundation of what you're talking about, it changes things. So it definitely, and it can rattle things, and it can definitely make you have to readjust. I mean, even for yourself, I would have to assume that you have probably had to deal
when I
with
went
the fact
unbelief.
that, your worldview was shaken.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think I handled things a little bit better just because my upbringing as a child and kind of being like semi-sports star, just being forced into things. I was able to handle things a little bit better because it was just no choice, right? I was always taught like, yep, go out there, deal with it. And there's so many things that, like, even with, I bring up sports for a reason, because I was a weird child that was good at basketball, and it took people to force me to be better or be good because I was so embarrassed to be better than people. Is the weirdest thing. Like I wanted everybody to look good, and that's not good for sports. So, the reason I bring this up is because my mentality now is I'm not embarrassed at all. I literally don't get embarrassed. I don't have that gene, and I'm okay with facing things that may seem uncomfortable in a way. So when I started finding out things that my belief was questioned, it was just like, oh, okay, deal with it. Right? Like I had that in me, just deal with it. Don't cry about it. Don't do anything. Just deal with it. So I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and some people can do that. Some people, though, it really it rattles them so much that they got to commit suicide or something. I can't say that. Sorry. They got to unalive themselves or something like that in order to deal with that kind of shake to their world, and it can be something that to you or me would seem pretty minuscule. But
minuscule.
maybe
Okay,
it's the last straw in a pile of stuff. It's hard to say, but look, we can all be wrong, and not all of us can be right about the same thing.
Not about this one, probably.
Right, especially because of the way everybody's got different views of it. That's the thing too. There's so many different views. Even if you go to the same church with a group of people, they're going to have different views than you do.
Yeah, 100%.
it's just going to happen. I mean, and you know, it's just a matter of accepting what we can tolerate from each other.
So
You
with
know,
that, this is kind of my point to this, right? And you did say you watched my video, and Christopher Hitchens' point was it's so on point that you want people that can present options to prove them wrong rather than the people that say you cannot prove them wrong, right? Like
uh,
if we're
I,
building a society, which people would you want?
I welcome that myself. Yes, I do. I do find that that's difficult for a lot of people. I, I, I you know, I told you before. I think sometimes people, uh, most people in the world are probably not really much better off than or better equipped than slaves. But then no man is really in a position or has the authority or the moral aptitude to rule over anybody. So the
I
thing
think
is
you
that once
mean
I
most people are
realized,
like followers. I don't know if that's slaves though, right? Because most
I would say
followers don't
slave.
really want to be slaves. They just want you to help
Mm,
lead them to what their goals are, right? They still have
right,
goals,
well,
but they just don't want to, or not don't
I
want
guess
to.
I'm
They don't know what
I
to
guess I'm
do.
loosely using the term slave as servant.
Yeah.
Um, but that's kind of my analogy. I recognize the same word as the same thing, and to some degree, I mean, you know,
But what I
uh,
said, do you agree with it all? Because I think that's what we usually mean. Because I think this is true.
yeah,
Most people just want you to
mhm,
tell them how to get to what they want. So that doesn't
right, right,
necessarily mean they just want to listen and or not listen. They do want to listen, but they want to listen because it's selfish reasons. That's why, like, I don't know if you were
right.
around during this time, but the book called "The Secret." That was like one of the
Hmm.
most selling books there ever was. Oprah was selling it. Everybody's selling it because people
Yep,
just want to know how to
my
get to their
daughter bought
goal.
it.
Yeah, like they just want to know
Yep,
how to
my
get to their
daughter.
goal. They don't want to be your
Right.
slave. They just want to, how do I get to my goal? So I think there's a difference. That's all.
Well, now let's take ourselves back a little bit and say, well, now you need to do everything you can in order to serve that search for that secret or for whatever your goal is.
Okay,
So
that's
what
what
does
you're
that
saying.
mean?
Okay.
What does that mean? That means I'm going to put down my career as an accountant or as a musician or whatever else and follow this career. And so I'm going to make sacrifices. These are the sacrifices we talk about that we make in order to gain our goals.
Sure. Yep.
Um, and and so now that goal now becomes, if you will, a god, if you will. It's driving you in a purpose in some way. It's trying to take you to this place, or you're trying to guide yourself to this place from your understanding of what your goal is, and that now becomes your god.
What's funny about that though
So,
is that I think if I have a goal, I don't think the goal is over me. I am over the goal. Like
that's
that.
a and
That. Go ahead.
that's a hard spot for a lot of people to even recognize, I would say. um, I would consider team loyalties and patriotism and things like that idolatry.
I
So
actually, it's weird. I think I'm one of these reverse power guys. I think, and I
mm,
bring up the president and stuff a lot. Like the president's supposed to serve me, right?
I concur.
We have this weird thing, but I would say same thing for God, and I think you would not concur.
That I don't think I concur on.
Right? I
I
know,
think
but
right.
I think well, it should be that way. God's fine.
I think that's cool. I think, but I think that's a perspective that you have of what you think God should be, and you think that God should be somebody who takes care of his people.
Well, what other reason is there? What is the point of God then? What is the point of a leader, right? What is the point of these things that we grant our servitude to if they are not going to take care of us, right?
Well, so this is where I stem off from the rest of them Christians on there, and I start saying, well, maybe it's not quite as clear cut as we're making it out to be. I do think that humanity has had his hands in all of the scripture, not just the Bible, but the Quran and the everything else that's ever been written.
Okay, so does this tie into, because I don't know if you said anything, what could make you not believe?
What could make me not believe?
Right.
Hmm.
Like what evidence could somebody present? Like what could happen that would make you not believe?
I don't look at it. I don't look at spirituality as evidentiary, meaning I'm not dependent upon any evidence of my spiritual connection with a God. But as a caveat, I don't think that you or anyone else should follow what I think because I think it. If
Sure,
that
I
makes
think
any difference.
you were being fair about that the first time we spoke, I think.
I mean, I would say that, you know, if you want to believe that God should take care of you and because he doesn't in the ways that you think he should take care of you, and you don't think he does, and you want to have an animostic relationship with your father or with whatever we call this God,
Okay.
and I'm comfortable with that term myself, then I think that's on you to sort out between you and God, because that's what it comes down to. I do think that a spiritual relationship is between you and your spiritual guide. And if you can find guidance through prayer or through
I feel like we
anything,
skipped over what would make me
but
think that
what could
thing's there
convince me
though, right?
otherwise? I don't see it as evidentiary. I don't see that you can necessarily prove me wrong, but I don't care
Well, not
if that
necessarily
makes
me,
sense.
like okay,
Or
I'm
anyone,
assuming you have
or
something that
anyone.
convinced you, right? It wasn't just it wasn't what you're saying. That's what's curious to me, right? Because if I asked you what convinced you, you probably would have something.
Oh,
So now I'm saying,
I,
oh, what would
I
not
do have
convince you?
something, and let's talk about what happened.
Well, hold on,
All right, so
because
one day,
that's a little less important because I know you have that. I am asking why isn't there the opposite?
okay, um, well, because like I said, I didn't see it as something that needed to be evidentiary, but I do think that when someone tells me what the Bible is telling me, that does prove that something is. I do expect some evidence of that sort of a claim,
You seek
if that
evidence,
makes
right?
sense.
That's what you said.
Right, I would seek evidence of that sort of claim. So if you tried to tell me that Adam and Eve actually existed, I would like to know what the evidence was of Adam and Eve actually existing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there just isn't, you know,
All
to
right,
me.
so now
So
tell me what convinced you, and then we'll see if we find something opposite.
all right, so what convinced me was somebody told me to take a moment and pray with an open heart. And as opposed to what I originally learned about prayer, which was you say a Hail Mary and you say a couple Our Fathers and everything's cool. But now I started putting feelings into the words, meaning I had a question about things. And I don't even particularly remember what my specific question was because I was 17 when this happened. And I was I made this open prayer to God, asking a bunch of questions, a lot of things that were going on in my life at the time. And then within 1 week, I probably got 3 out of 5 answers to those questions. Just by walking down the street and talking to people. Like my mom was one of the things that I remember saying, "Oh wow," and that became a light in my mind. So me telling you that sort of thing is not going to convince you, and I understand that. I understand that just because you had some weird
Okay. So
supernatural experience.
say you prayed and that didn't happen, would you have not been convinced?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not then.
So isn't that your
You
thing?
know, that is what has
So the next
convicted
time
me.
you pray, if you don't get those things, or that it doesn't have to be exact, right? Wouldn't that be
Well,
now
I don't
non-proof?
expect that every question I have needs an answer.
But did you feel that way before? Because like before,
Um,
were you more open? And then that's why you noticed something, and now you're closed, and now you won't notice something. That's my point to this
I do
question.
I do think that our personal state, as far as whether we're going to be open or closed to any information, is very important. Because I can work with I can work with somebody whose language I don't even speak, and I can acquire some sort of
Yeah, you guys can figure it out.
knowledge from that if I'm open to it. But if I choose not to open myself to that communication, whatever they're trying to communicate, then I will just be like, oh,
So
they don't know what
are
they're
you
talking
saying you're
about.
closed to any evidence that would change your mind? Are you saying that?
No, I'm not close. I'm not close to the evidence. I just haven't heard anything that convinces me enough
Oh, well, that part's
to
fine.
abandon my spiritual thing.
I'm just curious if you
Okay.
can think of something that could change your mind.
And that was part of my reluctance in trying to call, was like, I don't know if I could think of something that would, because I don't see it as evidentiary. I don't think
But you
that
did at
I
one
need
point.
evidence. Huh?
You did at one point. You used
No,
evidence to come to your belief, and now you're saying there's no evidence.
no. Well,
Am I misunderstanding? Go ahead.
I took subjective information
Yeah, but you
and
gave me examples of things that happen in your life, which is a form of evidence.
Mhm.
Whether it's good or bad evidence is another conversation. It is a form
Right,
of evidence. So you
right.
did think it was evidentiary, like you said,
So
and now you're saying it's
you're
not.
well, because I've looked at the evidence and realized that because I can't prove it to you, I don't see it as evidentiary, if
I think
that
that's
makes sense.
easier to say if I don't know if you agree. I think it's easier to say after the fact. Like once you're
Sure.
in it, it's like, yeah, well, that wasn't really evidence because now I have to prove it to somebody else. So subconsciously, we don't like that kind of confrontation as human beings. So it's just like, oh yeah, I know they won't prove it to you, but I'm gonna believe it anyway. But
I do think
you
part of
weren't that way at the beginning though. You were open.
no, something. Well, I mean, I was open. I was searching. I was
Because
maybe in a
what
vulnerable.
did the person tell you again? They said, "Hey, just be open," right? I think you used those words.
Yeah, pray with an
Right.
open heart.
So all I am
And
saying is be open again.
yeah, and and that's the struggle, I would say, is what I'm doing for the rest of my life is finding out when I'm closed and when I need to open up and when I should be closed, because you should probably be closed sometimes.
Um,
you know,
it
but
depends,
at the
man.
same time,
If we're talking about finding out the truth, I don't know, man.
well, I don't mean closed to the truth, but I mean closed off to negative influence. I mean,
Is the
I
truth
mean,
negative?
the truth is not negative, but other things will ride on the truth. This is the allegory of Adam and Eve that I find fascinating.
Okay.
That when we're faced with temptation, we're told all the beautiful things about what will happen when we make this choice. And we tell it to ourselves, or our friends tell us, oh, you should do that because that's what you should do. But the angle of the lie, if you will, that is told by the serpent, and and you can question how that all works out, but
Yeah, we're just going over
but
the story. I'm not going to go over whether
but
it's real or not.
right, but the idea of the lie of the story is that it's you're told a little bit of truth, and you're um
Oh,
and that
that's
is
what a
what
good liar
compels you
is. Yes.
to follow the lie.
Yeah, a
And
good
when you
liar
follow
would
the
tell you a
lie,
little bit of the truth. That's yeah.
right, and so it's too late once you've gone too far. Okay, so
Right.
now it's
But I wish
that's,
you would be that critical the opposite way as well, because that works for everything.
well,
So if you're objective
let me
about
say
it,
this
right?
too,
Oh, go ahead. I'll let you
because I
finish.
do
Yeah.
think that our our faith is tested daily, and sometimes I lose that battle as far as trying to focus on God. Sometimes I don't think about God. I mean, I have to,
What do you
as
mean
an
when you say
honest
that?
person, I don't think about what God wants me to
Oh,
do.
yeah,
That's
because everyday life, yeah. You're just going about
because
life.
that's going on about life, and I just don't think about it. Maybe I reflect on something later and decide it was a mistake. That's what I hope to do for the most part, because usually in the heat of the moment, we're usually not very um, focused on morality. We're focused on what makes us feel right now. If that makes sense, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but I think you wouldn't say this, but I think you were doing the same thing when you found out how to believe.
No, I would say that actually.
Oh, okay,
I might
cool.
even I might even say that. But the key thing is that people do that. Not just me, but other people do that, and they have all kinds of different ideas about what that means. Now, the problem is those actual ideas are, as far as we should grab power, we should grab money, we should. I mean, there's those sorts of things, but I think
I think
ideals that
even
are
the belief in this is what's weird to me about the Christian God. It's almost the same thing. People believe because there's a reward. It's not even this thing that seems
yes, I
so
agree.
honorable to me. It's just like you believe because there's a reward. What if the reward was to go to hell? Do you think people would believe then?
Right. Why care? Um, and you're right, and I wonder that too, because I was thinking about that not even too long ago. I'm like, why do I believe? Do I believe because I'm going to be rewarded in heaven somehow? I'm going to have eternal life and
I would say anyone
all the
that
things
says
I could ever
opposite
want,
is maybe being a little
or
dishonest.
or
Just say it. Just say
or
it.
or am I believing because I believe there's something greater than myself, and I'm happy to be my part in it? And I liken it to, as a musician myself,
Mm-hmm.
liken it to being a musician in a band and knowing when it's my time to step forward, and more importantly, when it's my time to step back and let someone else step forward, or let something else occur that isn't my doing.
Is that the same thing as what we're saying
But
though? Because I was saying that
in the
there's
meantime,
like your choice of believing is maybe not 100%, but most percentage of it is because there's a reward or a punishment,
right,
which is the
right,
same thing to me.
and I and, and I have found it difficult. Well, no, not let me say this. I have found that motivation is the problem with it, because you're trying to get favor from God one way or another, either not to be punished or to be exalted. And I don't look at it that way. I don't see it that way. I don't see my part as being exalted in any way. I see my part as being a person on the earth who's supposed to share what I know, what I can share with other people. And they don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to me. If you don't want to, you can hang up on me. But, all I'm saying is that I have some things to say and you don't have to
No,
listen.
I mean,
And if they don't make sense, that's my
I
fault.
I think I listen, right? I hope you weren't saying that because I did
You
just
do.
make a face, but that's because I was reading a text message.
No, I didn't see your face, but
Oh, okay. I did. Literally, when you said that, I had just made a face, so I'm like, "Oh crap! Did he think I was talking to him?" So no.
no.
Um, but I would still. I think
But
that
no,
one point is very important there. I think if I could, I wish I had superpowers like Wonder Woman to put you on a little rope. My camera's gonna go off for 1 second, guys, but I'm still here. Like put you on a rope and then make you tell the truth.
okay.
Like because I think there's so many people, not you personally, but I think there's so many people that would just say that the reason they believe is because they don't want to go to hell.
And I've heard that a lot myself, and that was one of the things I started wondering. Well, why am I really doing this? Do I care? Am I only doing this so that I can be rewarded, or am I doing
Okay,
this so
what was
that?
your answer?
And so I think that the right answer, the correct answer, the proper answer would be to be selfless and say, no, I'm just a part of the machine. But I also recognize that as a human, I have ego. And that's the thing that I'm dealing with is my ego over God. And
Well,
that's
wait,
kind
but
of
aren't you
where my
skipping the
battle
part where
lies.
like, wait, why do you even believe in God? Are we? I feel like we skipped that again. That's a
No,
very
I think
important point.
it's it's part of my relationship with God is me making sure that my ego is in check,
Well, wait, hold on.
especially
But
with
the maybe I might be saying this wrong. But the reason I'm saying that is because you your whole reason for believing already kind of makes it. I don't want to say dishonest, but I just use that word, and I'm not trying to be offensive about it.
okay.
But the how you
Okay.
got to your conclusion is already the problem.
Well, well, my I'll say this. The way I got to my conclusion is probably the way a lot of other people get to theirs. The difference I would differentiate, and here comes my ego, is that I tend to be a lot nicer than a lot of those people who buy into stuff that they're told.
Well, yeah,
Um,
you're probably just a kinder person no matter what you believed. I think that's just kind of how it works. Like beliefs are
right, and not to
especially
say that these
extreme
people
beliefs
aren't
just
kind.
like expand what you really already were. I know tons of Christians that were already mean beforehand and now they're even meaner as Christians
Right.
because now they
So
really have a reason. And it'd be the same thing
I
for
look
being
at
nice, by the way. Like now you really have a reason to love people. So you just become, I think of my mom. She's too nice.
right, right, and I like the idea of focusing what I need to do better in what I understand is a good relationship with God, rather than try and impose it on someone else. The things that I find easy to do. So,
Do you think it's just you playing God? Have you ever thought about that?
um, well, funny thing, when I was a teenager, before I had this moment, I used to write on all of my papers that I had to turn into my teachers my name, and then I wrote, uh, oh gosh, the supreme being or AKA God. I mean, I put that on all the papers that I had to turn in.
Never heard that one before.
So so that was that was probably the high point of my arrogance in thinking that there was nothing. And then at one point my whole belief system changed. So there you go. Something could change my mind.
Well, I know that because it did already. So
Right.
I'm
So
saying
the
if
thing
in
is-
if you're honest, then there has to be something that could do opposite.
So
Even if you can't even think of it, right? You like it had to be something.
I do think. Look, I do think there is something out there, but it is hard for me to think of what might actually
like
change my mind. But
what
I do
about
think
like
that
aliens showing up and telling you that they made up the Bible? Would that do it?
if they came down and said
Yeah.
that we wrote the
Like
Bible,
like
or the
they
story,
come and like they're obviously aliens and they
I guess-
come show
I
you
guess
like
it would fill in a
original
few holes
documents.
for me.
Wait, that wouldn't just destroy it?
No, I'd be fine with
What?
it.
Wait, hold on. If
the
aliens came and they were like,
Oh,
"Hey,
yeah.
bro, here's the real documents, and it's all bullshit, and it's like a movie for them." Let me do that. It's like a freaking movie, comic book, or whatever for them, and they're
Oh.
showing you like this shit was made up, bro.
Like you, I do recognize the fact that that's just the way things go.
Well, yeah, you would get
Sometimes
over it,
you're
right?
wrong. I would get over it. It may shake me a little bit. I may have to do something, but at the moment, I could say, yeah, well, if aliens came down and said it was all bullshit, we were the whole story. Nobody's living after their life expectancy. Don't worry about it. I'd be like, oh, that's funny.
Okay, I'm obviously,
figures.
you know how you're a guy. You know how guys do it. We just fucking make huge extremes until somebody admits it. Like I know you've been with the boys before. You just come up with scenarios until somebody says they would do something, and then you're like, oh. So I mean, I'm joking, not joking, but I feel like.
Well,
Go ahead.
that's why I like talking to you, because it gives me a chance to kind of sort out, well, where do I really stand on things? Because I don't get a chance to talk like this with a lot of folks. So
Because you're not
Thank
allowed
you.
to, man. I hate that. Don't talk about religion.
I'm
Don't
not-
talk about politics. Don't do it.
And I think that's horrible. I do think that's a horrible thing. We need to be able to talk about religion and politics so that we can get through this stuff. Otherwise, we're going to demonize everybody.
The only people that tell you that shit are the people in charge. That's what's funny. But
Right.
they get to talk to each other about it and make up policies and make up rules. But y'all minions don't talk about it, but we can. Let us do it because we're smarter.
Because they're following an agenda. They're not even following the politics. It's whatever they're after.
Correct. But they
Gold,
don't want,
money,
if you know,
power.
the more that the civilization knows, the harder it is for them to do the shit that they do. And a part of that, this is why I started doing my stream on this a lot, because the last fucking 8 years, I've been seeing a lot of religious feelings coming about not having to prove things. And to me, that comes from religion. Sadly.
Yep.
Hey, the authority gets to do whatever they want. And I'm seeing a huge crowd of people that agree with that. And that shocked the shit out of me. That scared the hell out of me, man. It's just like, wait, we're saying just because somebody's in charge, they can do whatever they want.
So that's a lot of what I'm seeing as well. And my big question at this point, kind of where I'm at with that, is how do we get them to open their eyes? And I'm not trying to change beliefs. And like I say, I don't care if you want to believe that in the Trinity, that's fine with me. You know, if that helps you with your relationship with God, I'm fine with that.
I am like this, though. I don't care about if you believe in God or not, as long as it, I don't care what your beliefs are. Don't care if you believe in aliens, tooth fairy, Santa Claus, as long as you are doing a benefit for our society. And a lot of this stuff that people believe, it's like, no, God is it. That's it. If anybody says they believe in God, I'm voting for them. Anybody says that, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it turned into all of a sudden. It used to be like you could believe in God and you could still vote Democrat or Republican and it didn't matter. Now it's like, I hear people is like, I believe in God, I only can vote Republican.
Or vice versa. And I've been seeing
Well,
the
obviously you might hear
opposite.
different people. I just hear the other side. So
No,
to
I
be
hear
fair,
both. I
yeah.
hear both.
Mhm.
I put my ear low to the ground, so I listen to all that stuff.
I just
I
never
listen
heard
to
somebody say, I believe in God, so I'm voting for a Democrat. I just never heard that.
I didn't hear it in that term, but I did know many Christians who were fucking Democrats.
Well, no. Being a
Um,
different Democrat, yes. But hearing that I'm only voting for somebody because I have
right,
only heard
right,
Republicans say that.
right, and and
Like
that's typical
people
of
voted for
Trump.
Trump because he said he said the Bible. Like there was I
Yeah,
watched
yeah, yeah.
so many videos about pastors like
He-
Trump is the man of God. He's the only person that said
That
Jesus.
is
Like
the
I
biggest hypocrisy I've heard in my life. I can't believe that people are saying that with a straight face. You know,
well, I think they believe it though.
they do, and that's even the worst part. But that's my problem. That's my problem. I'm not so worried about most people because most people are rational enough to say, well, okay, we can vote. We can have. It doesn't have to be my God story. It can be whatever the deal is, right? You know, I mean, we can
Well,
accept.
and remember my point to this, by the way, everybody. I am saying religion should not be a part of your vote at all.
I do
That's
concur with that.
that's
I
what
do
I'm
think
trying to
that
say,
if
by the
we
way.
follow Jesus,
I'm not saying one party's better than another. I mean, right now I do believe that, but I'm not saying that. I am saying your vote should have nothing to do with somebody's belief in God or not. That's all I'm
and
saying.
I totally agree with that. Um, I think that I think it's that's kind of a weird slope because I do think that people are going to be influenced by
Yes,
their religion
they
who
are.
to vote
That's
for,
it,
how to
you
vote,
can't get rid of it completely. It sucks.
and that's fine. I'm fine with that. But I do think that uh, people look, especially people who jump on a bandwagon like that. Uh, I, I mean, there's nothing that Trump has ever done before his presidency that made me think he was a Christian. And now
Oh
all of
yeah,
a sudden
sure.
he's championing the
That made me
Christian
laugh when
vote.
people said he was a Christian. That just made me laugh. It made me
Right. The
laugh.
first time I heard that, I was like, what? That's
Yeah,
funny. Now
yeah,
I hear it and I recognize it as propaganda
yeah, yeah.
and dangerous propaganda at that. And the fact that the people are it backs my point that most people just want to be told what to do. Most people don't want to think about politics. They don't want to
Well,
think about God.
correct.
They don't want to
That's
think
why the
about
religious part is dangerous because it will sway your vote.
absolutely. I'm
And like
terrified
I
of that
said, the
myself.
parties just switch back and forth. So some people get offended right now, but in 100 years, the parties could be switched because 100 years
Oh,
ago they were switched.
right,
So it's
right.
just
I know.
like it's a silly thing to even get concerned. I hate the team thing, by the way. I can't stand it. I think you should be able to vote for a Republican president and then vote some Democrats in too. I think you should be able to vote for a Democratic president and then vote some Republicans in too. If I
And I
look at
think
your
that's just
ballot and it's all
I,
one side, I do not believe you. Like I would
right.
say that to anybody. I
I
do
have a
not believe
problem
you.
with that too. I do think that you should vote for the right guy, not for your party just because he's your party.
But
Um,
unfortunately, if you, and maybe this isn't you, but a lot of religious people are about team. So it's like, hey, you said something that is with my religion. I'm voting for you because the other person did not.
right, and
And
or said something against it.
yeah, against it, sure.
Um, and yeah, I agree. And that's part of why part of my disdain with voting in general is that people jump on these popularity bandwagons that are not informed in what we really need. Now, I'll say this, just because I have to. Man, this is some of the worst foreign policy I've seen in the history of the world that's going on right now.
Yeah, well, there's always an agenda. I think, I mean, this is getting a little off, but my whole thing on this is
You're right, but I had to say
they
it.
always, what was going to happen And I talked to some buddies about this. They didn't believe me, but it's happening and it's hilarious. Not hilarious, sorry. It's sad, but it's happening. It's
It's
hilarious
sad.
that
I
I was
get.
right. But I was saying, because of COVID and everything that happened and the market just booming, there has to be a fix. There has to be some kind of downward trend or stoppage because the market was just kept going and kept going. So I had told people the next president had to fuck up the market because that's just how the cycles have to go. Like, you can't keep doing what we were doing and the market's just fucking rising and rising, and like it has to be stopped in order for everything to get back in balance. So that's why every cycle there's wars and shit. There's a war for
Yeah.
whatever reason, and then that helps. There's a travesty for whatever reason. Banks going bankrupt, housing market crashing. Right? COVID was just a. Some people say it's not natural, but like it has to happen because our system is already fake. So in order, since it's fake, we have to control it, or the fucking game is up. Right? So it's just like I told people this, they didn't believe me. I was like, look, the president is going to come in and they will be blamed for all the economy bad shit that's going on, and that's what's going to happen, right? And anyways, this is really getting off subject, but like, I told people this shit, like I did.
Yeah, you're right, and but I mean, you're right, because the problem is that all this stuff, and this is part of my other reason why I don't vote, is because, like George Carlin says, if we vote out all these idiotic, selfish politicians, what are we going to do? We're going to vote in a bunch of new selfish politicians.
Yeah, but man, I do think we can, just like I'm trying to change people here, just to be more honest. What needs to happen is we need honest politicians that know that they aren't good people, that would make laws for the future because they know most likely people need to be contained. And that you can only get people like that if they're honest. Like for me, I know I would take advantage of being able to make money. So there needs to be laws in place to where I can't take advantage of making money. We make laws like that all the time. Do I really want to drive 40 miles per hour? No. But we made a law to where, hey, guess what, guys? Fucking drive under 40 or get a ticket or whatever the case is. We do it all the time. Right. So it's just like we have to do the same thing in our government. Like there has to be, you have to vote in people that are willing to make laws against themselves. And I'm sorry, Trump is not willing to make laws against themselves.
But the problem is not the politicians, it's the actual voters. It's the people who actually vote.
Yes, you're on the same page as me, because it's not Trump's fault he's Trump. It's not Biden's fault he's Biden. It's not any president's fault they are who they are. They got voted in, and you're 100% right. So it's like I'm not trying to change the politicians. I am trying to change the culture, which now become the politicians.
Well, right, and so that's the angle I'm trying to look at. That's why I'm calling outreaching to you, and other places where I'm trying to figure out, well, how do we reach these people? Because I'm not trying to rule the world. I'm just trying to get some civility here, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I see I see you say the market's rising. The market isn't the economy. Like the reason the market goes up when things are going bad is because the only people that have the fucking money in it are the people that already got money. And then the poorer people are getting poorer. That's what's going on. So the market isn't telling you how the economy is doing. That's why the Democrats lost the last time, because they were telling people the fucking world was great because the stock market was going up. Like, hey, stocks are going up. Y'all are okay. Who cares about your grocery prices? Stocks are going up. Do you know how many people have $1,000 saved in their account? I forgot the percentage, but it's not good.
Are your grocery prices nicer now?
Hell no.
I would contest to say they're even worse.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
good.
and, and I'm not trying to.
I
I'm
mean,
not trying to
we kind of
advocate
got
for
off
anybody either.
till it got so checked.
I'm not trying to advocate for anybody either because and you're right, because it's on both sides. They're just trying to portray a votable, a likable guy in office for their constituency in order to run things.
Right. So
And
this does tie in the subject where it's just like, and this is why it's like, how can I prove God false to you? Now, if I ask a voter, how can I prove that Biden is bad for you? How can I prove that Trump is bad for you? If that voter tells me there is nothing, this is the same thing again, man. That's
right, so
that's
right.
why I bring up this. Everything I bring up is ties into our actual society. And the people that say that they cannot change their minds are the problem.
Right. So how do we reach somebody who can't change their mind? I mean, I can be wrong. You can be right. Uh, how do we get somebody to admit that?
To make a society where we don't fucking bash somebody for being wrong, I think is a part of it. So
I would agree with that. Yeah, there's no reason
I think we bash people so hard when they're wrong that you just dig in harder because you don't want to get punched in the face. Yeah, like so it's just like like most people, more people, not most, more people would admit they're wrong if there wasn't some kind of punishment, and that's why I brought that up too.
So how do you deal with it when your kid does something really, really stupid?
You have to educate. The punishment is already there usually, right? Like I think if your kid does something stupid, oh, go ahead.
When you watch the guy do something really, really dumb, that you just think there's no reason somebody should have ever thought to do that, but that's your thought, and you see him do this. How do you respond to him? Not just with education. Now, I'm sure I know you're going to educate him somehow, but the initial response: do you laugh at him? Do you yell at him?
My education is two ways. This is what's cool about it, and I'll boast about this. This is why I think I'm a good parent. Is if because I don't think you can. If I'm weird on this. I don't want to go too deep into this, but it's like say I get angry and
Right.
I yell, act like whatever. It happened, right? Now,
Right.
here's the true education. So if I yell at my son, cuss him out or something, my education is educating him on what he did wrong and then educating him on what I was just educated on as well. By like talking about what I did wrong, even if he did something wrong, right? That's what I mean by admitting something is false. Right? Like just because you do some shit does not mean anything. Like you can be like, you know what? You fucked up. I still fucked up. Like it doesn't take away what he did, and I will still condemn him for what he did. But I would be like, you know what, man? I'm teaching you this thing, and I didn't do what I didn't do what I taught you.
Right. And I've done that with my kids. All they're grown up, and I do think that I have a great relationship with them now for it, and they're both grown up.
And I've done this before. That's a true story. Like this is a true story. And I'm one of those parents. Like I feel bad, man, when I yell at my kids for anything. I feel bad. It doesn't mean they didn't deserve it, but I will think about it. And if I feel like I went too far, I will go to them individually, personally, and speak to them. This is also why I think God is an asshole if God exists. Because I will hold on real fast because I want to say this to put back on the God subject. Okay. Because I will humble myself as a father my kids are probably scared to death of me, by the way. So I will humble myself as a father and go talk to my children and admit my wrongs. I think God should do that for us as well. And you might disagree with that, but I think God should admit its wrongs and come down and say, I fucked up, guys. But here's the thing, because remember, we're talking about teaching. God can be like, hey, I fucked up, y'all, but this is the only way out. God never says that.
No, people do.
But God never says that.
Right. People do.
Why not?
Yeah, you're right. No,
like, because
and that's my question.
God obviously fucked up, and like I will argue with somebody forever about that. God fucked up. God needs to admit it, and things would be different. There would be more believers, by the way. I think the whole world would fucking believe if God just came down and said, "Yeah, I messed up, y'all, but guess what? The only way to get to me now because I messed up."
Set him up. I think if we didn't set him up as the perfect, omniscient, omnipotent,
Yeah, but God should still
being
come
in
down
the
and tell
first
us we're
place-
wrong. That's still the same thing. Be like, hey guys,
No,
you're
it's a-
wrong.
it's
I'm not that
different,
great,
but
guys. I would tell my kids that right now. If my kids thought I was perfect,
Yeah,
I
I
would
do
be
that.
like, no, I'm not perfect.
And I do that, and I do that with my kids too, and that's what I think I learned from my family experience that I had growing up, and from my influence throughout my life, the things that I brought to my parenthood, and explaining the things that I did and that I did wrong
Hmm.
to my kids, not just telling them that they're awful, horrible people, because they're not. They're
So
actually
why do you
really
think God
good people.
never does that?
I think that people like you are doing,
Well, you're
and
saying
like I
people.
have done
Why doesn't
too.
God do
I
that?
think
Why isn't it in the
I
Bible
think
that
people
God
are
messed up?
putting that responsibility on God.
No.
I
But
think
like, let's
I,
talk about the Bible real fast. Like, why isn't
okay.
it in the Bible that God messed up?
I would say it is in a few places.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you won't get argument from me on that. He
So
messed up
God
when
admits it, right? You're saying that?
I'm saying he admits it in the Bible. He says, "I admit, yeah, we need to confuse their languages."
What? Well, wait, that's a punishment for your own mess up, though. That's not really saying you messed up. Like, I wouldn't punish my son
Well,
for something that I did,
well, no, it's authoritarian punishment, but it's the type of punishment that people were accustomed to at the time when it was written.
which is why you
It's an
don't believe it,
easy
I'm sure.
allegory. It's an easy allegory that we can
I
understand.
think you don't believe it.
I don't believe the words as they're written per se, but I do think that there's a connection. I associate with Christ, but you might call me more Buddhist, in my understanding of things. I think that contradiction and harmony are synonymous, a part of the whole thing. I think that um, conflict and resolution are all part of the experience of life. I think that's what we need.
What do you think God's purpose is?
Um, well, that's probably above my grade level. I wouldn't
Yeah, but
even
I'm
care about
asking you.
that.
I'm not saying you know 100%. I'm
But
saying
for
what are
us,
your thoughts? Yeah.
um, I mean, look, cognitively, it makes sense that we would put together a God of some sort. To me, because of the history, the fact that every single civilization has some concept of a supernatural. Every single one of
Do
them.
you think we're getting less and less of that now, though, because of science?
No,
You don't think so?
no. I think people are getting more and more stubborn about it. But I think, I think science is part of it. I think it all goes together. We can't rebuke science as much as we can't rebuke the lessons of the Bible. Even though Adam and Eve was not a factual story, there is a truth to that, and you can find that truth, and maybe it's for you to pick out what is important to you out of that story. And if it's not important to you, well, then move on to Noah, move on to Abraham. Move on to something else that you can find comfort in. Just like going through a book and that was written by, I don't know, Ian Fleming, and finding some truth to live your life
Dr.
by.
Seuss taught a lot of people. Let's go Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I don't like using him because I don't like his views, but yeah.
I mean, sometimes the authors aren't the best, but I feel like there's a lot of lessons learned in some of the Dr. Seuss's
Well, then
books.
again, I have to say, Ted Nugent does rock.
So, well, all right, man. I think we had a good conversation here.
Yeah,
I think we went full circle.
Yeah, I think so. Look, yes, I can admit that there is something, but I couldn't tell you what would change my mind.
That's cool. I think that's still an answer, honestly. You may not know what it is, but the fact that you're not saying, "Oh, there's nothing that could change my mind. I'm the Hulk,"
Right? No, we're humans. We're infallible, and it doesn't matter what belief I hold. It's infallible. I mean, it is fallible.
Here's something to think about before you leave, is that I think most non-believers have something very specific that would make them believe. So, like, I would question why that is. Are they actually more open?
And I'll leave you with something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where are they putting that importance in their lives? Is it going to override their family and override their social life in order to get these other gods accomplished, if you will?
Okay.
Just consider that, and we can talk another time about that. Where is your God if you're not worshiping God?
Okay. I won't start another conversation. Obviously, I have answers for that, but I won't start another one. So, all right, bro.
Fair enough. Just maybe it's a shot to put out to other people, even.
Yeah. Okay, man.
Cool, man. But thanks again for the wonderful conversation. Again, I enjoy hanging out and talking with you.
Thank you.
And you giving me enough time to sort out some of my crap.
Awesome, man. That's what I'm here for. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. You have a great day there, Jay, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Buck. Take care, man. Peace.
Later.
Yep. All right. One of our regulars now. I can say that. One of our regulars. Who's next? Who wants to come up and have a chat? Give me your... I would say Buck was honest enough. He doesn't know what would prove his beliefs wrong, but there is something. And that's all I'm asking for. So, wait, some of y'all hit no that you didn't hit subscribe. Or sorry, hit like. How rude. That's literally supposed to be 100%. That's like the one poll that should be 100%. Anyways, that makes me laugh. All right, so who's next? Who wants to come up and have a conversation here? I'm holding back laughter, by the way, because I'm actually assuming whoever put no actually did it. So I don't know. It's interesting. That's just me being funny, I guess. All right, yeah. Who's next? Who wants to come up here and admit that their minds could change? That's so funny. I'm like over here literally holding back laughter, by the way. That's pretty funny. It might have been an accident. No. I think it's hilarious that somebody did it on purpose. That's like my kind of joke. Like, I probably would have clicked it after I did it, because I would be like, oh crap, I didn't click it. And then I'm so honest, I would have clicked no, but there's no option to say I didn't do it, but I clicked it. So I'm so cool with that. Y'all don't know how cool I am, by the way. Like, I'm so cool with so much shit. And it's why if you ever get me angry, you're kind of shit out of luck, because it takes so much to get me mad at you. Like, I don't know. And there are people that know that. Like, it takes a lot to get me pissed at you. So if you get me mad, you did something so bad that it's almost like I can't forgive you because you did something so bad. I act like God because God doesn't just forgive everybody. I act like God. It's an ego thing. All right. Anyways, who is up next? Let me look at my agenda here. I've been trying to take notes on what I want to go to next. If people are too scared to hop up here. As the channel keeps growing, though, we're going to get people in here. I think I got a different personality that will bring people into the conversation. Let's see here. What's next on our subject here? Can God be tested? That's what I have here on my notes. To wanting to go down here, does it make sense that we can't test God? Because in Deuteronomy 6:16, ye shall not tempt the Lord God. I think that's kind of a contradiction because there's plenty of times where God is allowed to be tempted, tempted. Let's talk about Job. I always bring up Job because Job is one of my favorite freaking stories. The devil was allowed to test God. What do y'all think about that one? And if you don't know the story of Job, boy, are you in for a good one. So let's talk about that. Let's skip to that. There's a verse that says, do not test God, but then the devil is allowed to test God. What do we think? What do we think? Don't be scared. No. Job is the story where the devil goes up to God. I think it says hold on, let me get the exact, let me pull up the verse. Devil talks to God. Job. One of my favorite books, by the way. I love Job. Such an interesting story. Job 1:6-12, Satan talks to God. Yeah, let's pull up that one. And you can keep going. It's like Job 1 through, honestly, all of Job. Just keep fucking reading it. But here's one that Job specifically speaks with God. Pretty cool, man. Like, the devil gets kicked out of heaven for rebelling, and then God still allows the devil to come talk. That's some interesting shit. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Job 1:6. All right. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, whatever the fuck that means, and Satan came along them. That's crazy, man. How does Satan get to come along the sons of God? And who the hell are the sons of God? This book is insane, guys. Y'all got to read this book. Come on, man. Anyways, that's crazy. Satan came along them. Or among them, sorry. Satan came among them. They just say it like it's nothing. Isn't that crazy? Like, Satan just came. It's okay. But if I sin and don't believe in Jesus Christ, I go to hell forever, and I don't get to just walk up to God. But Satan, who's been cast out of heaven, gets to just walk up to God along the sons of God. Bro, like, this is crazy. Do you guys understand what's going on here? This is insane. This is insane, man. And you can tell by, like, I hope you can tell, I'm not faking. I get excited about this story. I love this story, man. If you want to come up and explain the translation, hey, I'm cool. If I'm missing something, I don't know. But I love this story. Just the thought of it is insane. It also makes you wonder, like, oh, God needs Satan in some way. Just think about Revelations, by the way. Satan gets to reign for another 1,000 years or something, right? Is that right? They don't just kill Satan. Satan gets to like be around for another 1,000 years. Let me see. I'm gonna make sure. Aramaic to Greek, to Latin to English. Oh, is it that messed up because of all that? Oh wait, I'm sorry. He gets bound for 1,000 years. Why is Satan not just killed? Revelations is stupid. I'm sorry, guys. I used to read this book wholeheartedly, because there was a verse that said any man or any somebody with wisdom can figure out. Oh my God, I can't remember the exact verse, but anyways, it's about 666. And I remember I had to be about 11 years old, and I read that verse, and it was one of the, not the only, but one of the parts of the Bible that said I could figure some shit out. So I was like, God dang, oh wait, I could figure something out? What if I'm the first person ever to figure out what 666 means? Don't condemn me, guys. I'm fucking like 12 or 11 years old. I don't know how old I was exactly, but I'm a child. And I'm sitting here like, oh wait, what if I figure this out? I can save the world. Oh my God. I wish I could go talk to my old self. Poor guy. Ah, poor guy. I wish I could go talk to myself. Oh, poor guy, man. Golly. I was such a confused child. I feel bad for that guy. All right. It says, all right, Job. Oh wait, hold on. I already did this verse. There's another verse. Hold up. I'm supposed to be putting Revelations up there. All right, Revelations 12:22. And he laid hold the dragon, the old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. Why? Really? Why? Why is Satan bound for 1,000 years? First, Satan rebels. God doesn't get rid of him. God gives him earth. Let's listen to this story. Satan rebels, and its punishment is to rule over earth. Our punishment is to go to hell forever. Is that not crazy? Satan, the worst being possible, gets earth, gets to rule earth. Us, we go to hell. When I was a kid, my dad would read the Bible. I'd always ask him. Revelations was cool to me, but I think that's from like some bougie Christian mindset where you think you're going to make it, by the way. If you watch my video before last, where it's like, they're smiling about the end of the world, make sure you watch that one. I think it's a good one. If you haven't seen it. But it's kind of into this whole thing. Like when you think you're not the one getting punished, you're so happy about judgment. But it's interesting, man. But anyways, Job kind of destroyed the Bible for me as well because it made no sense. The fact that the devil, which I am told caused the sin of every single person in existence forever, now gets to go to the throne of God with the sons of God, whatever the hell that means, and talk to God. And that's not it, guys. What else did he get to do? I am not allowed to tempt God. I am not allowed to, just to say tempt God, but the devil can go and tempt God. Mind blown. The devil gets to go tempt God. Holy crap. I'm cursed with sin forever, and I never can speak to God. The devil, who tried to rebel and take over heaven, gets to go speak to God. Wait, hold on. It says the serpent was Satan. Let's read it. Let's read it. Revelations 20:12, and he laid hold of the dragon, the old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. It's crazy, guys. Let's just be honest, man. Be honest about the book. I'm gonna let y'all think about that for a second because I gotta run to the bathroom. I'll be back. If anybody wants to step up to the plate that's not scared, jump on in. Let's have a conversation. I'll be right back. Back at it. We got probably like 30 more minutes unless we get a call. Only a call can keep me going. That's what happened yesterday, brother. We got a call and like I was ended up being here for another 2 hours after that. But I you know, if we don't get a call, I got some videos I do want to go work on. I enjoy making the videos. So, and a lot of this conversation is making me think of some ideas. So we'll see how it goes and go from there. All right. Let's see. What are you guys chatting about? John 14:13. 14. Let's see. John 14 verses 13 through 14. All right, that is let's see, whoever he shall ask his name in my name. Oh yeah, this is a famous one. I know a lot of people try to make excuses for this one, but no one wants to read the Bible for what it is when it's against what they believe, unfortunately. So I know all the apologetics for this one, but let's put it up. Let's put it up. Basically, it turns into, like I said, the video I just made where Christopher Hitchens is saying that having something that's you're not able, or sorry, unfalsifiable, it's just stupid. Like, it's just dumb. If you can't falsify it, then it's just like you don't even believe anything. I'm sorry. I don't even know if that's really believing anything. Kind of weird. But, well, we got one call in today, guys. How long have we been going? 2 hours. That's not too bad. Tuesdays are a little less because I know the bigger channels are doing their thing. So I don't expect to be able to compete with these big ass channels. But it doesn't stop me from wanting to come chat with people that want to chat because obviously, oh, you want to join? Hey, all right, cool. There you go. You can be my last chat. If X is unsubstantiated, and yeah, I agree. Anything predicted on X is unsubstantiated. Yep, seems pretty simple to me. Straightforward. But I know we talked about this plenty of times. I think there's just people that are just so afraid because the book tells you to be afraid. Why does the book tell you to be afraid? So weird, man. So weird. Oh, do you lag on Discord sometimes or? Don't forget to click the notification button because next stream will be on Friday. I'm going to take Wednesday, Thursday to knock out some videos. So you'll still have some videos to watch. Oh, fear is one of the most powerful tools there are. There is. Yeah. No, that's why I say it's one of the most powerful tools. It is in evolution as well. It's better to fear something in that bush that's not there than to not fear something being in the bush at all. So yeah, I get it. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I am getting a little tired. I'm a little hungry too. Haven't eaten dinner. I wake up about 4 a.m., do a little workout, get to work, get off of work, come here, try to make some content or make some videos. That's what I do right now. All right, we got somebody in the queue here. This will be our last one. So, all right, here we go. Hello. Make sure to unmute yourself. Looks like you're muted. And also make sure if you go down the little icon that says input options, make sure that is set to your default microphone if you never used Discord before.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Okay, yeah. Sorry, it might be a little laggy, but I'm Cash Money. I'm one of your subscribers, but I did have something I want to about this.
Yeah.
What about?
Go ahead. Let me turn you up a little bit because you're a little soft.
Oh my bad. Let me get closer.
No, you're good now. I turned you up.
Okay. So I've been following you and a lot of other people who just recently started my I guess deconversion or my unbelief trial, and almost everything is like making sense. Not biblically, but like logically and realistically and scientifically. A lot of things are just making sense and more towards that way than religious or biblical. I'm up. I'm open to the idea that there's a creator, but it definitely can't be the one of the Bible or most of the other religions. Reality doesn't line up for it to be such way. But there's one thing that keeps me stumped, and that is miraculous or abnormal healings, abnormal, abnormal healings or abnormal speedy recovery processes, or someone fights cancer and they win, or um, lung cancer and they survive and their lungs are back to normal, stuff like that. I want to see what you have to think about that, because some people say that in Jesus' name and they pray over people, and sometimes it happens instantly. Sometimes it's more like they just believe faith wise.
When you say instantly, is it more of they don't get checked up on and then it's gone all of a sudden? Is that really instant? Because instantly to me would be I go to the doctor's office, I have this diagnosis, and then they check me again and it's gone.
Right. I seen this video. I'm not sure if I really don't know his name, but he's like a white preacher. He's on YouTube, kind of known white preacher, and he did a video recently where he went to some country or whatever and prayed over this kid, and in real time, supposedly. Now, I did watch the video to try to get some more context. So basically, long story short, the kid had like a speech disability or something like that. He couldn't form sentences, and I forget what type of medical term it's called, but it's basically he can't speak normally. He just can't speak, and the preacher basically put his hand over his tongue, prayed in Jesus' name, and then the kid spoke a few words, and then the mama was emotionally stunned, and I took that as more evidence to lean towards, oh wow, maybe the kid really couldn't talk. That's why the mother is so emotional. She's crying and stuff like that. And she's like really paying attention to her kid. So I'm all like, that was something that happened I guess in real time, but I guess situations like those do need to be studied or
Those
looked
are
at too.
tough. Was this like a staged, like, could it have been staged? Like, was it obvious it could have been staged? I'm not saying it was, but it was
Right,
like,
right. Like
was somebody like brought up? There was already people there, um, like something like that. Because I'm always questioning those things because I've seen the frauds of like uh healing churches. Like there's plenty of
right.
videos out there of showing exactly how they do it and what they do, and people have been caught. Now, even then, in ancient times, there are stories about people being frauds. There's a reason why in Exodus, there's this story about Moses dueling with the other Pharisees. Was it not Pharisees? But maybe it was Pharisees, but dueling with the other magicians, basically, right?
Mhm.
You heard
Yeah.
about that? Where like he throws down the staff and it makes a snake, and the other one throws down the staff and it makes a
Yeah.
snake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a reason those stories are there, and it's because people can do some BS. Magic has always been around. So I'm assuming you're a believer.
No, no, no. Like I said, like that's the one thing that's been like
Well, I'm
stumbling me.
sorry.
I'm
When
trying
I
to
say
keep.
believer, it's like you're still holding on to something.
Uh, well, I'm maybe I guess just that. Not really. Like I'm really far away from it now.
Okay.
I'm still
That's
asking.
fair.
Um, because I just like I said, I just want to see what you thought about that, and I have tried to analyze that video more, not biased. I was literally like, yo, is this stage? How can it be staged? And the people, I mean,
I'm not saying it's staged. I am saying, though, that it's more of the thing about this. When anytime we speak about God, miracles, I think if it was a true miracle, there would be no question. Just like if I think about the Israelites going through the desert and then a pillar of fire showing up and a pillar of smoke during the day.
yeah,
It's so strange to me that the miracles that these ancient people had are like, oh shit, that was a miracle. And then the miracles we have are things that can be recreated,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. I feel the same way, bro.
So I look at stuff like that and I'm just like, oh, okay. Is God that not that powerful that I can just replicate God? That doesn't
Yeah,
make sense to me, right? So it's just like I look at those like that. I'm all for looking into those things, by the way. I looked into near death experiences a lot, and at first they seemed very compelling until I realized that there has been tests done and those tests don't pass. And just like, have you heard of James Randi?
I have not.
Okay, so James Randi used to host this show, and he was a magician that became a person that he was okay with magic, but he just didn't want magicians and stuff saying that it's real. So what he did is he found this foundation, or he started this foundation that if anybody could prove the supernatural, they get $1 million. And you obviously already know the ending of that, right?
Right, yeah, it's not real. No one
No,
can do it.
no one could do it. There was this really famous guy, I forget his name. Somebody say it in the chat because I know you know. He could bend spoons. He came on the show. He still ended up being super famous because when you want to believe something, people just believe it. He got disproven on the show. And it's just like, if these things were real, Yuri Geller, thank you. If these things were real, bro, there would be no question.
Yeah, I get that a lot. That's why that's why I think like, well, before I'm all like, why would God help this specific person when there's like there's
I'm
more
okay
harsh
with
things?
God helping specific people, but there would still just be no question.
Yeah, 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 that's true. That's true.
Like, so,
There would
like,
have to
I'm
be
not
a
even
really,
saying that God wouldn't just pick people because in the Bible, guess what? God's kind of racist. God picks a
yeah,
people. Jesus is even a
yeah,
little prejudiced. Jesus says, I only came for my people. Fuck you. like sorry, that's some bullshit. Because you heard the story of the woman begging Jesus to help her, right?
Was that Magdalene?
And Jesus, no. Jesus tells the lady that he says, "Get away from me, dog." And some people say that's like calling her a bitch because it was a lady. It's like, "Get away from me, dog." And then let me get the whole verse for you because I hate to just say shit. Let me get the exact one for you. I used to be so good at this stuff. Like, I used to know my verses like crazy. Oh crap! Just disconnected myself. Hopefully, I didn't mess anything up. All right, you still hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So Matthew 15:26. Let me put it on the screen. This is just the start of it, I believe. If you haven't heard of that, it could be too small for everybody. So let me grow it. All right. So, but he answered and said, "It is not to meet, or sorry, it is not meet to take." Wait, what is that? It is not meet to take children's bread and to cast it to the dogs. Like basically, why would you like the bread is for the children? You don't give it to the dogs, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's Jesus, man.
That's tough. That's tough. Oh,
Like, you know what I'm
man.
saying? And then Matthew 7:27. All right, let me pull that up. Okay. And I used to be the most biggest Jesus fan there is, by the way. I actually have a tattoo. This shows you how much. All right, so it says, "But Jesus said unto her, Let the children first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to the dogs." You know, like the Bible has the same verse different times and all that other crap. Because everybody has a different story. But bro, if Jesus is saying stuff like that, we got to start questioning some stuff.
I mean, yeah, bro, it's crazy. Bro, these stories is the reason why I started like even questioning in the first place. It's so crazy, bro. It's so crazy. Like the more I learn and the more we learn as human beings, it's like I guess I know you've heard of it. People say God of the gaps. It's just like the more we learn, it's just like it really replaces the idea of at least religions,
Mhm.
different religions, like biblical stories and stuff like that. Like a lot of science debunks, Christian biblical stories, even Muslim stories. I mean, the more we learn, we get far away from that stuff. And the people before us, they didn't have a lot of the technology that we have in this time that we live in. So I don't doubt that they really believe and they're going to be strong about it.
But you know what's cool about it? That proves what you're saying is if you go further back, their stories made even less sense. And there's a reason why the Christian story makes more sense. It's because they knew more, bro. So it does make more sense. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it makes more sense. But if you go talk about like what the Mayans believed in and what Mesopotamia people believed in, like that was like, holy shit. And then you get the Christian stuff and it's more reasonable. Oh, now God's invisible. You know why God's invisible now? It's because they went up the mountain and they realized God wasn't there. You know what I mean? Because like God used to be on the mountain, and the Greeks were like, God is in the mountains, God is in the sky, like all these things, right? I think Christians still believe God was in the sky because we hadn't got there yet. But that's what's so amazing about what you just said is that the proof is literally there. As soon as we reach the space, God is no longer in space, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy,
right? It's crazy, but it's cool, man. I wish, and like, I'm glad you kind of are like this. I think the actual story is more interesting than the bullshit. I love reading the Bible. I love talking about the Bible because it's just interesting what these people thought and what these people came up with to explain reality. That's what's cool to me. And in the future, if we make it 1,000 years from now, they'll laugh at our shit too. Like I truly believe that. Like they will laugh at all the shit that we thought was true, and some of it will be true, right? Like that's just how it works. Some of it will be true, but they'll laugh at us, man. And we have to actually look at it in the way of that, in a funny way. That's like, hey guys, what we probably believe right now is bullshit. And then it makes you want to search more, by the way. Like I truly believe that I'm wrong all the time, which makes me want to talk to you. Because I want to hear what you have to say, because you might say something to me that makes me think a little bit differently, and then I come up with an idea that is closer to the truth. That's why I love to talk to people.
Right.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I haven't gotten too deep into it. Like I've been trying to see, like I have a few like friends, they're into these different types of like spirituality, stuff like that. And I'm all like, I see people online, like on YouTube, like yourself, or like people that debate or, you know, ask questions, and it's usually only debating like religious books, like the Bible, or I guess the Torah and stuff like that. It's not these like sub spiritual beliefs. People go as far as, you know, believe that like we're God and stuff like that, and different things in nature. Like it gets very weird and stuff like that. But I never see people debate those things, and I'm not sure if it's because they think that it's not like valid, or it's not like real, it's just baloney, or if it's just like they don't have anything to really debate about when it comes to that.
You're wondering why no one talks about those things?
Yeah, like debaters specifically, like the people that talk about it, that believe in it, they talk about it, but like debaters that I only see debaters go against, like, again, like the Bible, the Torah.
I would say, you know, even the fact of there's less and less real debating about the Bible. And I have a couple videos on this. Like people like Andrew Wilson are the new type of debaters. They don't talk about the Bible because it's obviously bullshit. So what they do is now go to philosophy. And philosophy is kind of hard to debate, really, because if you can make anything sound logical, like logic doesn't make something true. And I think people are very confused by that. I can make a logical statement. It doesn't mean it's true. And and that's the thing, like what I see, the new type of Christian debaters, they aren't like what's the guy's name? Like Frank Turek and stuff like that literally talk about biblical shit. And it's because we've learned so much that if you try to say anything in the Bible is true, it's so easy to destroy it.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to destroy it. Like you don't even have to be a Bible scholar to destroy the Bible. And so people don't talk about that anymore. They went to something else. And that also shows it's a slow progression, by the way, which I hate. I think we've, as a society, we've lost a lot of great minds because of how slow we allow progression. Like I always wonder how many Einsteins there would have been if we weren't so stupid. Yeah, like, it's just like crazy how many Isaac Newtons there would have been if we weren't so fucking dumb. And we have to wait for these super special people because we're super specially dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're so dumb, it takes great people to overcome it, which is why we only have these segments of special people. Anyways, going on a little rant there, but
no, yeah, no, I get you. I get you a lot. Like I agree, bro. Like trust me, like I agree. Like I said, I've been studying and the more I study, the more it actually makes me angry. Maybe not for other people, but maybe some people. But for me, I was raised in it, and I believe, and
I
it
think
makes
you
me
were lied
angry.
to. I think I was lied to, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, yeah, literally, yeah. That's what it felt like. I feel like I was lied to. Like reality, just like I just picture like a broken glass,
Yeah.
like just reality shattered. Like what I believe to be true is just like whoa. It's like dang, what is true now?
So
Spiraling.
what
So
you
that
can
that's what
do,
happened.
and it's what I decided to do. I don't really blame my parents. Um, they were just brought up in the society they were brought up in, so they did the best that they could do. Now it is up to the next generation of people that have kids or have families or have friends to start making it okay to think and talk about the stuff we talk about and not just allow this continuation of the poison to keep going. Right. So my kids, I have a son that's a believer, by the way. Like
Oh,
he studies the Bible and everything, but I have never taught him that. Like
right.
the only thing I ever spoke to him about is what a good person should be, and how we should try to take care of each other. And he's religious. He is, and I have a son that's not, and I have daughters that are probably still trying to figure it out. And to me, that's fair, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what fairness would be. And it's a selfish kind of thing that I do. It's kind of like my experiment, but I think it's a nice experiment. Like
Uh,
I still give them the facts that I think would help their lives, but I don't talk about anything that I can't prove.
yeah. Yeah. I literally wish like I've come to that thought multiple times. I'm very young, and I'm gonna assume you're like probably double my age,
I'm
but
older than I
like
look, that's for sure.
I'm uh I'm 22, but I've thought about like yo like I love the diversity that we have in the world that other people believe, and so we have so many perspectives. I love that. I love the different cultures, the different lifestyles, again, different perspectives of life and philosophies and way of life. Like I just hate that. For me personally, I don't know if there's anyone in the chat that feels this way or other believers that feel this way, but I I wish it was that simple for me to just move on. Like, I can just move on, but like I still have this one thing in the back of my head that I might be punished wrongfully,
I think that's
unjustly.
okay. And because you can't make yourself just stop believing stuff, bro. Like if you say you watch my stuff, like it's that's what I'm about, man. I can't I can't lie, which is why I just started saying what I think. Like I can't lie to God if there's a God. So just like, oh, okay, God, hey, if I'm wrong, show me I'm wrong. I'm gonna say what I believe, and hopefully that even makes you show me I'm wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, and it is just what it is, right? Like, what if I'm right and God's telling me to say this shit? Everybody would say that's a lie, but how could that not also maybe be true?
yeah, bro. Like it's crazy, it's insane to think. It's like you never know. You never know.
Well, right. If you truly are honest, you don't know, which means you could be wrong. Of course, I could be wrong. I'm just giving an example, right? Because people talk about the Holy Spirit makes you speak. Well, wait, what if it's making me speak this? Oh, no, that's wrong. Oh, why do you say that? You know what I mean? Like, it's just bullshit. It's all
Yeah,
bullshit. That's what I'm saying. Even like my comment is a part of the bullshit, which is why I'm saying it's okay. Because nobody knows. And that's just the true reality of this situation. Nobody freaking knows. And if you say you know, fine, step up to the stage and show me, because you should want to show everybody, not just say
exactly.
words. You should want to show everybody. And I got some buddies of mine that say they're super religious, but they also don't care if somebody believes. I'm like, that's some shitty shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you know what's going to happen to the
You know what I
unbelievers?
mean? Like if you think somebody's going to hell and you're just like, oh, I don't care. I don't know, bro.
Dang, bro. It's-
And like I said, I got some buddies that say that, they're like, hey, if you believe, you believe. Like, but wait, do you think people are going to hell? Yeah. I'm like, God damn. Man,
On the fly, on the
like,
fly. Too.
it's just like, golly, man. So, anyways, I'll let you speak some more. I've been talking a little bit. So, did you have anything else, or?
Honestly, brother, literally, I'll just keep. I'm gonna keep studying about the miraculous healings. Because I have a personal story in my family. But I haven't.
Oh, did you
I don't know.
experience one? You don't have to
Not me
share if you
personally.
don't want to, but
Not me personally, but my father. I have no reason to believe that he is lying to me, unless he is, which is kind of crazy. But I don't really have.
I mean, obviously people can lie. I wouldn't say your father's lying, but I have a sister that survived like 3 cancers.
Oh
She
my
says she says it's God too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, people, it is what it is.
Hey, it's like the story I said. Like my father, he went through lung cancer. That's why I brought up the lung cancer. Miraculous. He was smoking a lot, and his lungs were black. And then the doctor literally came in the office and said, "Oh, there must have been a mistake. Like your lungs are perfectly fine." And that's basically the long story short of the story. My father told me, his lungs are black. He prayed to God to said that God told him that he was supposed to be a preacher.
Oh, so your dad's a preacher?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, God, if you told me I'm supposed to be a preacher, I need my lungs to be able to breathe and work in, all types of places, dusty places and stuff like that. That's what my father told me. Basically, yeah. And that happened. He went to the doctors and his lungs were healed miraculously, right? But again, like I think about those situations and I'm all like, what about the people that didn't make it? Even believers, people that in the same situation did not make it.
Yeah, I mean, my mom's a perfect example. She died of horrible cancer very early in her life, in her 50s. I wasn't mad though. Like I did believe in God at the time, Christian God. But it made me realize that, God isn't what the Bible says though. I did not believe yet though.
Yeah.
Right. I was just like, because there's a very vivid memory in my head where my mom was praying to God. She obviously was still alive. And she believed she was going to get healed, man. I could hear it in her voice. Like she really believed it. She was screaming and yelling. Like she really believed it, man. And it made me think afterwards. I was like, okay, that can't be real then. Like, and it made me start thinking like, God can't actually hear you that way. And I really wasn't angry at all. It just made me think about it more. And I was like, okay, that can't be it. Cause my mom believed it for real. Like, I don't know if you ever heard somebody scream and cry. She really believed it, man. And it makes me smile right now. Like it's like some people think it's a sad story, but it makes me giddy a little bit because like she really did believe it, bro. I don't know. She really did believe it. She really did believe it. So it's just like, okay, if God's gonna not answer that, I don't know what the hell God ever would answer, which means God does not answer things like that.
Yeah, literally.
So it's just like, and then I started thinking like, well, wait, okay, why would God save my mom and there's still 100,000 starving people today?
Yeah, literally. That's
what I mean? Like, so it's like, okay, yeah, and I'm really like, this is not a fake smile, guys. I don't. It makes me laugh when I think about it because it's just like, wait, that's so obvious. Like, what did you do, Mom, to deserve to get healed, and then literally somebody sitting in a cage getting murdered right now? You know what I mean? Yeah. Why does your prayers to God matter than some child right now that's getting horribly abused? Right? Exactly. So it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, and I say that story and people are always like, oh my gosh. I'm like, no, it's like, no, just look at it for what it is.
I think I really get you. Like my mother too. Like she's like I'm pretty sure she was like your mother in that sense. Like she would literally preach, cry, preaching, screaming, like yes, Lord, and my healing is coming and stuff like that, and things are
yep.
supposed to be and stuff like that, and these things just haven't happened. And it's like I analyze these things from the back seat growing up, and it's just like, wow, I'm seeing things not happen. You know, you guys really believe and they're screaming and
Right.
shouting,
And
you
you're
know,
supposed to be able to move mountains with the faith of mustard seed.
yeah,
And my mom
exactly.
for sure has some fucking faith of a mustard seed. Like, I'm just saying.
A whole boulder, a whole mountain, something.
I don't know. I know my mom pretty well. She would have had to be the best liar in the world, which is possible. But like I said, when I heard those screams and whelps and crying, that was a believer, bro.
Yeah, late night on the knees and stuff and
Yeah,
worshiping.
that was a believer, man. So that opened my eyes a lot. Just
The
saying. And
last
it took it
thing,
forever for my family to get over it. My mom's been dead for like 16 years now. So
oh,
uh
whoa.
yeah, she died really young.
Um,
But it's just like it was easier for me to get over it because of what I realized. And I feel like a lot of my family just now is able to talk about her without it being so sad. Um, like I didn't talk to my family about her for a long time because they're all super religious, still are, and they could never talk about my mom without bringing up, oh, and she's in heaven, or stuff like that. And it
yeah,
always sounded like coping to me.
yeah. I mean, shoot. I mean, it's tough. That's just really tough.
It's only tough when you're not honest, though. Like we're all gonna die, man. I don't know why our society doesn't talk about it differently.
I don't say
Like
that, fam.
we literally should be brought up to make death okay. Like, but we're not. Everybody's gonna die. Like it doesn't matter if you live to 100 or whatever, you gonna die, and we don't talk about it. And I hate that about our society, by the way.
Yeah, it's definitely something I feel like we should talk about because
I
literally,
hate
like
it
that's
because the next person that's probably going to die is my dad. And I have not been brought up to be able to deal with it properly. I'll probably deal with it better than other people or other members of my family. But if I was brought up to where it was just like breathing, it would be different. And that's what I mean about the truth and honesty. Like, we need to build a culture that is more truthful and more honest, no matter what you believe. Because I add that caveat. You cannot change your beliefs. It just happens.
yeah.
Right. So it's just like with that, I never try to change somebody's belief. I just ask them to be honest about their beliefs.
I'm gonna be
And
real honest with this
go ahead.
last rant.
I didn't hear you. I'm
I would,
sorry.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna just be honest with this last rant. I'm
Okay.
gonna be
Go
real
ahead.
honest with this. When it comes to me debating people about the Bible, I try to cut past all like the stuff that people normally debate about, and I like to debate about um, the story of the Genesis, from Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And my view on that is literally nothing is our fault in a literal sense. Like we have responsibility for our choices and our actions, yeah, but ultimately, if you want to add a God complex and specifically God of the Bible, ultimately, I literally believe that everything is God's fault. It
Oh
literally
yeah.
says God without knowing. God is not without know, which means He doesn't need to test anything. He does not know what's going to happen. He's all powerful. We are promised a good life in heaven, you know, in our perfect world, which means that He can create such a reality. He just chose not to for this one. So it makes this reality with all this suffering we experience unnecessary. And again, I
Unnecessary
just
is the key.
yeah, unnecessary. Literally, like this isn't necessary because God can do without it, and we are promised in the Bible that He can
And
make us such a
promise
world
that it will happen.
that it will happen. So
Yeah.
it's not like I'm assuming. I'm
Yeah.
literally giving God his dues. Like I'm thinking about Him all powerful.
And that's something that got me too, is that it says it will happen, which now makes me like, well, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
why aren't we already there? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. He made the angels in heaven. He made Satan in heaven.
Doesn't make any sense, bro. And like, here's my thing on what you're saying is I came to two conclusions, which was the same thing with my mom's stuff, where I was like, oh, God's not that powerful. God is very powerful, obviously. God isn't that powerful, right? And then it like somebody would come to me and be like, oh, well, God has to create. I'm like, oh, shit, there's something more powerful than God then. Because why would a perfect God need to create anything? Like, what does perfect mean? And then people are like, there's a Trinity. I'm like, okay, well, the Trinity would have all just been perfect with the three of them. Why do they need to create? It makes no sense. Every answer somebody gave me made no sense.
The only way, one of the things how I thought about it, one of the conclusions that I came up to was, and this is just literally taking no context from the Bible, or I guess maybe, but I thought that maybe God is just God of the Bible. Like maybe he is a God. Maybe he's just one of many gods. Maybe there's a council of gods somewhere.
This feel like the Avengers or some shit.
Around. Yeah, literally like Avengers. Like if you guys ever watch Green Lantern, or they're in space.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Green Lantern.
Basically, they're deciding what things have to happen and what good things have to happen and what good things have to happen. Like there has to be a balance. Maybe God's in the council like that, and he's just he's supervising this reality that we're in, and that's why some of these bad things have to happen. Because some bad things aren't caused by us as humans, like natural disasters, viruses. Well,
the thing is, once there's a creator, nothing bad happens because of humans. That's the problem. Yeah. Because no person, unless I find out, like there are some people that say we chose to be here, and you'll find out when you die that this is just a place that the souls come to play. I still think that sounds horrific because there's some horrible shit that happens here. But there is a theology where it's like, no, we all made this place as a playground. And we come here and play. And it still doesn't sound nice to me, by the way. It actually sounds like some bougie bullshit. Like your life is so good you can say that, but if you were in a cage somewhere you would never say that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like so it sounds BS. I don't know if you ever heard of Gaia, the YouTube channel?
Oh, not the YouTube channel, no.
Look up Gaia and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's a bunch of people that have privileged ass lives that tell you that everything is spiritual.
My God.
So anyways, I fell for that shit for a little bit. When you're seeking stuff, you fall for stuff, and that just is what it is. And that's why I never really condemn anybody, because I've been at the lowest of my life and just tried to search for something, and you'll just grab onto something. It just is what it is. And I've been at the highest and also tried to grab stuff and not grab stuff. Anyway, it just depends on what's going on in your life. And to me, that's another clue that it's all about us. We're just literally making up shit. So anyways, did you have, I always like to give the guest the last thing. Did you have, you cut out. Oh man, we lost him. Maybe his battery ran out. I was trying to give him the last word there, but that was a nice conversation. Oh, you remember Gaia? Or are you talking about something else? The Kaya Balin? I don't know what that is. Kai Billion? Let me see. Oh yeah, Gaia. I don't know how to say that, is a 1908 occult spiritual philosophy book created to the three entities. Okay, I'll read it. I'll look at it. I've been looking for some more reading, by the way. If you guys go to like the channel post, you can post stuff in the channel, and I'm looking for new reading. Cabal one. Okay. So, yep. All right, guys, we are coming to an end. That was going to be the last one. I appreciate you, brother, for calling in. I should have got your name. I apologize. But thank you for calling in. Hope to see you again. Don't forget, we had a video out early today. I got another video out coming out tomorrow. I think you guys would like both of those. Make sure to comment on those. I always respond. I respond to almost every comment. I wake up at like 4 a.m. and throughout the day, I'm responding to almost every comment if I can. So I like to hear you guys' opinions and everything. I also take critiques as long as you're being cool about it. Some people just say stupid shit, but yeah, I take advice on my videos on what you think could make them better, because my whole point is to spread this message of honesty and that it's okay to be honest. You can come to me and be honest, and I'm not going to condemn you. I just want people to be more honest. We have to change our society. And I think allowing people to be honest and to be wrong and still welcoming them in is the key. So once again, guys, thank you very much. Yes, click those buttons, hit those buttons, click, click, click. And I appreciate you guys. We won't be back on until Friday. So I will see you guys Friday. Thank you again for the callers. As always, I'm Jay. Don't forget to throw away your feelings, open your minds, and question your beliefs. Thank you very much. You guys have a good night. Peace.